Chicken, who, I mean, look here. Super Chicken celebrated their birthday on the 16th of February this past Wednesday. So we say happy belated birthday to Super Chicken. And then Magic Sam with Easy Baby. And Magic Sam's birthday also would have been on Valentine's Day. So we remember the late, great Magic Sam. And then after that was Take Me to the Country. And that was by our very special guest that we have on this evening. I'm very happy to bring this rising blues superstar on our program this evening. I want to introduce everybody to Jontavious Willis. Jontavious, can you hear me? How you doing out there?
I can, man. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you again for agreeing to spend some time with us over here on Buddy Guy Radio.
Oh, no problem, man. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I want to, Jontavious, I think our listeners would love to learn a little bit about your background and your upbringing. Can you first tell us how old are you? First, tell us how old are you, and then talk to me about where you were born and raised and how you got into music.
For sure. So I'm 25 right now. I'm 26 in May of this year. I was born in LaGrange, Georgia. That's West Georgia, about 40 miles or 50 miles south of Atlanta proper. But still a little bit out, away from it, enough to be in the country and kind of secluded. But I was brought up in Greenville, Georgia, real small town, a little bit east of LaGrange, by a population like 890. So there's a lot of family. A lot of my family stay there, still stay there. Grew up in a Baptist church ran by my grandfather, the head deacon, and my grandmother, as one of the real active church mothers. And yeah, man, that's really it. I started out on piano around the second grade, then the trombone. Didn't do so well with those two. Then went to guitar around age 14. Taught myself how to play around 14, and then I picked up harmonica and banjo. I kept the latter three, and try to get back to the former two, but really gonna do piano, and then trying to get back on piano. Then I don't know about trombone, but that was nice. That's about it, man. Country dude that have been around real few times.
So now wait a minute. So you were playing the you were playing the piano, and were you playing the trombone in church too?
Oh no.
Okay.
No. The only thing I played in church was guitar sometimes, but we had a primary guitar player, so I mostly a song. But I would play harmonica in church sometimes, but never. I wasn't good enough on piano. Well, I'd been good enough on piano if I would have stayed, but I was never that good on trombone. I could make it sound good to me, but I don't think I kept it long enough to really develop a technique.
Now, so when you were in the church, let me ask you a question. When you were growing up with, gospel music, which is the backbone and background for a lot of our blues artists, tell us, what were some of them songs that y'all was singing? What were some of we're talking about traditional gospel? What kind of gospel music are we talking about?
Well, I guess we're talking about Negro spirituals, and we're talking about, later gospel, because we were singing like Guide Me, O Thy Great Jehovah, and a lot of them old, a charge to keep I have, God to glorify, them songs where you sing the line, you say the line, and then everybody come behind and sing it with you,
Yeah.
Readapted, a lot of those songs, like you do European songs, but then you get these folk from the South that take them and they don't even sound, recognizable. So those are a lot of the ones we did, but it's, a lot of the classic too, some of the Dorsey songs, some of some of the later stuff like, Jane Cleveland and Caravans, all of them. Hey, all the good stuff like that.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, there was all the good stuff. We didn't even have too many instruments. A lot of the time it was just one guitar. We got a drummer, sometimes, but we had piano players sometimes, off and on. But majority of my time in the choir, I started singing in the choir when I was 3. So I think a lot of the time I was in, they were just all the folks, all the older folks, and like my granddad and great aunts and cousins and such, and one guitar player.
Wow, that's a bit. I like hearing that. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, we
Mhm.
we like that good old down home gospel music over here. So that's all. You all right with me? Now, let me ask you this: what now? I think I read somewhere that you started, you got exposed to the blues. Is it true that were you were watching a Muddy Waters on YouTube? Well, talk to me. How'd you get
Well,
into the
yeah.
blues?
Okay, so it's two different reasons I got into the blues. It's interesting. Um, so one was, as you said, the Muddy Waters. It was him playing Hoochie Coochie Man, and he was playing 19 years old for a black crowd, sorry, in Chicago, and this was rare for him in his right, I think the 70s, 80s, and the way they were talking to him, talking back to him reminded me of a lot of the stuff I was used to seeing around, at home and community, at church, kind of when you're doing because they folk glorify you, they let you know right then, they don't wait to after the show, and so it was like, man, that muddy was feeding off of. Then he went to this thing, he like, yeah. And I like, woo. And, it did something to me. And they were doing something to the people. Them folks were feeling it, I was feeling it. And, they were at the time, they had just started to put a lot of stuff on YouTube. I think it was like 2000. Like, because I was listening to the blues real heavy about 2 years before I started playing. So it was like 2008, And then, and another thing, what led me to Muddy Water was I can say right now, I've never watched Cadillac Records because I knew a lot of the older people and a lot of the older folk were saying that a lot of those stories were true. And I'm really a stickler for like, facts, especially when we're talking about these blues people because they rarely talk about them. So when they do talk about them, at least 75% factual is cool with me. But anyway, it was a thing on TMZ and it was Etta James talking about, Beyonce singing at last. They had an unedited version of it. And I wanted to go listen to her say on YouTube. So I went on YouTube and she talked and then uh, it was a side video that was Etta James singing, a few years earlier with Chuck Berry and Robert Cray, and she was singing Hoochie Coochie Gal. And then the follow-up video, that is the video I mentioned in the beginning of Muddy Waters. And the second thing was my cousin and my god sister was in my front room talking. I was in the back room, and my cousin was like, "I want a band that can play the piano." I was like, "I tried that one, I'm just listening though. I'm just listening because they older than me, so I was like, and then my god sister was like, "I want a man that can play the guitar," and I was like, So those two things combined, I figured I'd take it up.
Wow. So okay, let me let me back up for a second. Okay, this is what I like about, and this is what I like about the internet is with our younger artists we get exposed to the blues. It's so easy to be able to stumble upon some our blues greats on the internet. I love that about it. I
For sure.
so let me go back a second though because um so you got exposed to Muddy Waters. You seen them do that call and response, and you're feeding off it, like we all do.
Yeah.
What? So then, at what point did you say, what, I'm gonna like? What made you say I'm gonna pick up the guitar, and I'm gonna, this is what I'm gonna do? Like how did that come into play?
Well, yeah, it was just like so after failing, well, not really failing, but after not becoming as accomplished as I wanted to become in a short amount of time on piano and trombone as I did guitar, I wanted to try another instrument. Like I said, with the combination of the Muddy Water store and my cousin and my uh, uh, god sister, I was like, yeah, I wanted to do it. And also, like I said, I was steeped in, I was listening to all that, like oh 08, 09, right before I started playing in December 24th, 2010. Christmas Eve, my dad bought me a nice, one of the cheap Fender guitar. He didn't think I was gonna play. And but yeah, man, I just kept playing, and um, like I said those two things were the reason I really wanted to do it. I was listening to all the old, and growing up, I listened to all kind of music, so it wasn't just blues. I'm only 50 miles from Atlanta, so I was definitely grew up on hip hop. My middle name is Raekwon. I'm named after one of the Wu Tang group, Raekwon from Wu Tang Clan. And then I listened to all this stuff, but I think I had enough discernment to understand in my early part of my career that I really love traditional blues, and I still love traditional blues. And not just country blues, because I also play electric blues too. It's just real hard to find. Well, I play early electric blues prior to the British invasion. And then, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going around and around, but yeah, basically, yeah, all those things combined. I was 14 years old and I was in the country, so all those things
Hey, no,
really
that's
came
all.
out.
That's all right. We hold on now. That's all right though. I'm liking this now. Now wait a minute. So let me ask you. So, okay. So you picked up the guitar. You started playing it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What are some who are some of your favorite blues artists, and who would you
Man.
consider have influenced your style?
Well, okay. Some of my favorites. I got a lot of favorites. 'Cause really, because back then I felt like uh, at least a lot of the artists that were back then, anyway, a lot of A&R men in those days. So a lot of those artists, if you couldn't make it, we never heard of, So that was one thing. So a lot of the music that we got through in the early 20s, on to 30s and 40s, is curated. It might not be curated by the best curators, but in a sense, it's not. Today it's just so much you can get access to. That's one thing about the internet. Yeah, it's good for a tool, but it's just so much to filter through. So I feel like that's one of the ups and downs, one of the ups of the recording industry. I feel in the early days, because a lot of that stuff they knew what they kind of wanted by a lot of the famous folks that had kind of set the precedent. So and those folks would be like Mon Rainey, Lonnie Johnson, Ryan Jefferson, Tampa Tom, Georgia Tom, prior to Tom Brooks. Then man, with who else? Bessie Smith, Kokomo, Peggy, Howard, Barbecue Bar, Blind with the Tail, Blind Boy, Full of Bloody Mom. Really everybody. Because I mean, because for I guess for me, I like to dive into the individual style. I like to dive into the people that listen to some of those folks that were kind of heavily influential in the uh, area. I like to dive into, yeah, I like all of it, man. I like all the facets of it. And I had a few friends that were connected to, those guys. Being a little younger, I didn't get to meet a lot of those folks that were connected to it, but, I treasured meeting a lot of those folks. Yeah, man, yeah. So also, yeah, I don't know what it's so many everybody, but who influenced me though? I would say my grandfather for one, great singer, great great dude. My dad, he's not a musician, but he turned me on to really enjoying music. As far as being, what I play, Blind Lemon, Memphis Minnie, Chapel Red, uh, Big Joe Williams, and Mon Rainey were probably my top five. But it's a lot of them, man. It's almost anybody that recorded blues from 1923, that's direct from their culture, because it's just hard for me to interpret a lot of the other stuff for those guys that's trying the culture. You can understand some of it. No, because a lot of the menstrual stuff going on, so some of that stuff are hard to kind of listen to, because some of the folks are kind of trying to put on, but if it coming straight from the soil, man, I really like that, because it's like the only kind of connection you have with the generations before Because man, you get on Ancestry.com. That's about as far as you can go back to when the blue record was made. Well, I guess you can go back to like 1860 or something, but not too far. So I feel like it's an expansion of unknown Black history and culture.
Wow, woo! You see, you all right with me? You go way back. I like that. Now
Yeah.
you said, but wait a minute. I want to catch you on something you just said. You said you are you tracing the blues lineage on Ancestry.com? Is that what you said?
Oh no. I was just using it as an example, saying that in a lot of Black people just can't. We can't go back and see a lot of our family history. We can only go back like maybe 7, 8, 9.
Right.
I should say decade, but now I guess you go back like 100, 20, 130 years, 140 years, but not. Some folks go back 400, 500 years and they have a sense of a better picture of the identity. I mean, we know who we are, but I'm saying, it's not a lot of the music and a lot of the culture wasn't really uh, because it's so much in the blue world. It's so much, and a lot of it just wasn't documented, especially from the inside out. So I feel like just going back and listening to those records, and even even some of the records that like you get a snippet of, like Memphis Minnie got one record called Broken Heart, where she laughs and she say something to Leonard Chess a little bit before the record starts, like, I mean, we're gonna be here till 4 o'clock in the morning. And she started laughing. It's fun and it's good to hear her talk because it's funny because like the next year or two, she'll have a stroke and nobody would ever be able to ask Memphis Minnie, who was a forerunner before Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She older than Sister Rosetta like about 15 years or something. And she's playing electric guitar. She's singing country blues. She went from country blues to city blues, and man, all yeah, all we have is just those snippets, those records, So I just feel like every piece of them is really a piece of a piece of Black culture.
Amen. I agree with you on that, and I can't agree with you more about how important it is, and as you talk about listening to those artists and how it definitely helps connect us to our roots, and that no, I agree with you on that. I want to ask you, what has it been like for you as a young artist? What are some of the challenges that you've faced as as you're an emerging artist in the blues industry? What are some of the challenges that you faced?
I have a real giving heart, and I think a lot of the challenges I have faced are only challenges I made myself because I really have been too many challenges. I don't think because I think my goal I recently realized during COVID um, that I think I want to be the best blues musician I can be. And I don't mean knowing chords and stuff because for me, and I play ragtime and stuff. I got more than three chords and a really real syncopated right hand. That's something I'm proud of. But I think I want to, like I said, just be a better musician, man, and just grow and just dive into the music as much as I can. And man, I don't went into a tangent and forgot the original question. What did you say?
No, it's all good. I was asking, what are some challenges that
Oh
you
yeah, that's right.
face? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I always maneuver, man. Even during COVID, I was doing shows at a local venue. I ain't saying I'm Superman, but I am saying like I know what I want to do, and I know that if I want to do it, I have to do what I can do to fulfill it, because I know that I want to be a musician. I know that I want to be a blues musician. I know that I love traditional blues as of now, maybe later I like, now, don't get me wrong now, I play anything, but my heart lies with traditional blues. Yeah, man, I mean, the only thing is I know a lot of young folk in my community that's talented. I know a lot of folk that that gifted. They love the music. I'm talking about young guys. And for me, um, like I said, I just try to if it's a way to make a way. Even though, and the hard thing for me, I guess this is a challenge. I'm not all the way, to a point where you can just help folk, you know. But if I can do something to help, you know, folks that otherwise wouldn't be seen, even sharing stuff, you know, on social media sometimes. I like sharing good stuff, real good blues stuff. I love it, and you know, but that's it, man. I just try to, you know, we have because that's one thing, like I said, because all of the things that we doing, everything we are talking about, the solutions to me is lies in the history. We were real close to each other back in them days, you know, back in the 30s and 40s. The blues musicians were um, kind of cliquish, but still they had a formula. You know, they would go over each other how practice songs, go through different keys. You know, they would really hang out with one another. But I think now it's a sense of kind of like competition. But for me, I compete with myself, and not saying trying to be funny. You know, I'm being like legit. I sit down and I play music, and I understand that some of the phrasing and riffs that I play, don't nobody else play. And I'm proud of that because I know I've sit down enough to create, you know, a sound for myself. I only recently acquired, maybe last, you know, really during COVID. But you know, I would, you know, and I guess that's the whole motive of music. But I mean, it's you know, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. I really not too many challenges and everything that I have faced. You know, you go around like I was doing full-time college student while I was performing. Even I was playing a little bit in high school. And so, you know, a lot of things came up. People died while I was playing, you know. I mean, you know, in family and have ups and downs and stuff, but that life, you know. So they ain't really had too many challenges yet, you know, but I'm still young.
Absolutely. And wait, you said you were a full time college student while you were
Yeah,
performing. Where were you
yeah.
going to school?
Uh, Columbus, Georgia, Columbus State University. I graduated and got a BA in social science. Yes.
Wonderful. Congratulations to you. I know what that's like going to school full time and performing, so I know it's not easy.
Yeah,
That's
man.
not easy. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about I want to talk about your two albums, Spectacular Class, which I know was nominated for a Grammy Award,
Mm-hmm.
and then which congratulations getting that nomination. That is an awesome
Thank you.
achievement right there. And Blue Metamorphosis, which I think the is it right? The Blues Foundation recognized that as a best
Mm-hmm.
self-produced CD.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about your songwriting process. How do you what
Uh,
inspires you to write some of the songs that you do, and how do you get into the mode?
I don't know that first one. That first one, you know, a lot of this stuff, um, inspiration from older songs, older people that I'm around. Some of the stuff comes from me. Yeah, like some of them came straight from me. You know, like well, all of them I wrote. You know, but I mean, some of them came from my own experiences. So it varies. You know, sometimes the word comes first, sometimes it comes first. It's just like anything, because you know, sometimes get it all at once. Sometimes it's like a dream you remember later on in the day, and it comes to you. Just jot down one word. That's about it, man. That's the same way I do it now, though. You know, when I hear a real good song, and I just say, I really like the melody. And then, you know, kind of mess with the melody, especially if it's a piano song. I take them piano songs all day and play them on guitar. And that's about it, man.
Wow.
You know, I've got some different keys that I play in now. You know, down the neck, well, I mean, toward the left. Like B, I play country blues in B and F, and so that opened up the voices, you know, different. Um, you know, yeah, that's about it, man. You know, I just, yeah, it's no real formula.
What? No, but hey, that's our. Sometimes for some folks it comes naturally. You hear something you like and you say, I got an idea. Let me write it down. And I know some people got a whole ritual that they go through. So,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
but I want to ask. So I want to ask you also about how did you get connected with Taj Mahal and Keb Mo? Because I know you went on tour with them, and
Hmm.
what was that like working with them? Talk to me about Taj Mahal and Keb Mo.
For sure. So you know, BB King. This is the beginning of the story. BB King died in like 2014, May 2014. And so I was still maybe 15. I was in college, And I knew that I wanted to talk to BB, Buddy Guy, and Otis Merch. Just talk to him. I didn't, a few things I didn't know, really know I learned, but I wanted to talk to him about, the glory days, when they were playing, asking about the players. That's the generation that's a connection from the generation. A lot of the folks I listened to that recording in 20s and 30s, and also the generation that I still, like that recorded in the 50s, 40s, and 50s. So I wanted to talk to them about that. But man, when BB died, I was like, man, like it's a whole library. And I wanted to ask him about particular people. I want to ask him about the first time, he heard old folks, see what he had to say about, I probably wasn't going to be like an eye opener, but at least I would have had to ask the question. So, and anyway, I started calling folks. I think I called, I ain't gonna name all the customers because some of them were chummy with now, but I would call them and let them know that I was a blues musician playing. And, I had just started, I went with 2015. I hadn't started standard tuning, and I was still playing open tune. And yeah, man, I started talking and got in contact with the Music Making Relief Foundation. They recently to call it Music Making Foundation. And they told me they could introduce me to some older gentlemen, but that's what I wanted to meet, just the elders in the community, because I didn't live by a lot of blues elders. I lived by a lot of gospel elders. They introduced me to Blue Hanks, a gentleman out of Virginia who passed about 4 years ago. Then Mr. John D. Holder, who passed last year, who was a great guitar player and one of the last Flatfoot dancers. And man, uh, see, Taj knew Mr. John D. because Mr. John D. taught Taj some stuff, years ago. Mr. John D. was 91, so he passed. And so Taj, I did a video for music making when I went to North Carolina to visit these folks. And Taj was like, I'll wait for you, you know. And so he had a show in Atlanta. Me and my homeboy Jay Hop and my dad went to it. And he called me on stage to perform 2 songs. It was the biggest crowd I ever had to them for me, maybe 200 at the church or something like that. It seemed like it like 2,000, 3,000 people. Just, I got the video too. I sent it to you. Like that's one thing I'm good about, like documenting and dates and stuff. But yeah, got you.
You said
But
there were.
man,
Wait a minute. I just want to make sure I caught that right. You said there were 2,000 to 3,000
it
people.
might not have been 2,000, but all I know is I could not see where they ended. It was a co-beater show with Taj Mahal Trio and John Hyatt. And there was so many people, man. It was so, and maybe because I had never seen that many people, so I don't want to lie. It might not have been that, but like 800, 900, 1,000 folks. But man, I swear it seemed like it was so many people there, and they were making so much noise. And then I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna see you again, Mr. Taj, but then I told him all when I got off stage. But thank you, and but for having me on stage, he said, no, you gonna hear from me. So we kept talking, talked about blues, kept talking for a couple of years. Called me, you talk for hours, man. I call him, we talk about like everything, like just like the nerd out about this stuff. And he called me one day and like he wanted to do 3 shows in Florida in March of 2017. And then I did them with him. Left school, and my dad went down to Florida. We did them. And he told me a little later on that Keb Mo gonna come, a few months later. Keb called me asking that I want to do a few shows with them, opening for the Taj Mo tour. And then a few shows turned into like, I don't know, I ended up doing like 40 shows with them. And I understood how important it was then, but right then I was thinking about it because I was just trying to make sure that I didn't do that crazy. Trying to make sure I was on time, sound check, trying to make sure everything was good. Now I did because I understood. I was on the bus. See, I've been opening these laughing shows. I don't open a few shows for people. You ain't gonna be on the bus. You're not gonna be on the bus opening no show. They're not gonna let you on the bus. But Todd let me on the bus, and I rode on the bus with them for all those shows. And then eventually I got a pretty tight friend with Keb and his bus, and I started riding their bus too. So that what made me start connecting with Keb because I started talking to each other shows and being in between 2 buses, playing, music with the guys. That's it. So that led to the album, which led to some more tours with Keb. But yeah, they are more than just musical. Musical friends. They are to me family. Keb done been down to my house. Met me and Taj. Wanted to stop by. We had was actually in LaGrange, Georgia. Where I said, I was born, and then he got an amphitheater there. So it was great to come back home and got to meet some of them. Yeah, man, it's great being on the road. It was great being on the road with him. There, top notch musician and top notch man. So I really appreciate him.
I know that must have been. I mean, I'm just sitting here, amazed thinking about, if I having the opportunity to be on the road with Taj Mahal and Keb Mo, and it's like, what? I mean, these are, these are blues giants.
Oh man, yeah, man. That was I knew it. They were blue giants, and then we sitting there, we were talking about all kinds of stuff. They were part of all their good knowledge and stories. I love this stuff. And then I realized too, like some of the venues we went to, I might not never go back to them venues ever again. But I can say I went to them. The Ryan, I get it, Ryan, but the Austin Cinnamon, the Orpheum Theater, Paps Theater. Um, man, we were all in California. We were everywhere, man. I know they don't play in our place probably a lot of times, but for somebody that comes straight out of college, and I was selling them CD, man, them CD was going like hot, man. That was a good time in my life. It was a good
Wow.
time.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh, that is
All the
amazing.
time good, but that was good too. That's real good.
I,
That's real.
let me ask you. I want to know what's it like for you to perform, because you performed overseas.
Just
What
yeah, just a little bit.
what was it like for you going overseas for the first time?
It was good. It was good. I have to take back. I think I said earlier I've been around the world. I think if I say like how much I drove, I probably drove around the world, But I only been to Europe as far as touring goes. I only been to Norway, Denmark, and Switzerland. Yeah, I've been going to Spain next month, but it's all Europe though. But it was interesting, man. It was good, Um, it's a language barrier, but the folks they still dig. They like it. So they just like performing. Anywhere else, I feel like you if you can make them feel it and you feel it, and God just groove together. It was good. So I enjoyed being over that night.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I know being overseas. I know there can be a difference between being overseas and playing in the states, and I think that's just, again, hearing from you sounds like an amazing experience
Yeah.
on your part. Um, I want to know. So I know that this last CD that you had. Spectacular class. I'm getting tongue tied now. Came out in 2019. Are you working on anything new?
Yeah, man, I don't record. I've recorded. I actually went to the studio twice, and then, but I probably put something out next year. I got some stuff I'm working on, but like I said, I'm really. Uh, that's one of the things I was thinking about too. I think I look and see how many songs the folks I love recorded. Like Blind Lemon got like maybe 60 songs. Uh, maybe that's in a 5 year span, 6 year span. Um, uh, Robert Johnson got 29. Tommy Johnson got 30. Charlie Pad probably got 40. Maybe 50, probably 40 something. And I think, man, I wanna also put out stuff. And I know that is a long time since I put something out, but it probably out next year. But I want to show the growth musically. I don't want to just be just a whole nother batch of songs that sound real similar to all the stuff I did. I want people to see, okay, well, he listened to something else, but it's still rooted in what, all the other stuff that I did and not too far that I did.
Absolutely. Well, and I know you could do it. We that I know is gonna happen. So
Yeah,
everything you've been putting out is good.
I appreciate. That's why I try to put this stuff out on Facebook too, because I like to get those songs and capture them, but also I like to go back and look at them videos and let folks know I'm still alive and moving with my music. I post a few videos on Facebook. They're about all my followers there. Anybody that follow Facebook, yeah, they listen to the same stuff. A little follow on Instagram. But yeah, man, that's all I do, man. Just trying to be a better blues musician. I know that. Yeah, I know that. That's all I'm trying to do.
I feel you on that. I wanna know, as you think about where you currently are and the direction that you're trying to go, do you have any? Are there any goals, any specific goals, anything that you're hoping that you can accomplish in the near future that's on your wish
Mm-hmm.
list? Yeah, go ahead, share those with
Yeah,
me.
yeah. It's 4 acres of land like where my folk live at, and it ain't that expensive. So I'm really thinking about buying that and building a little house out there, get a little trailer for it, then get a house, and then have me a little garden, maybe a few chickens, and do that. We grew up. My granddaddy got a little farm, and my dad he used to have a few chickens, just for some eggs. We ain't trying to, we ain't gonna eat the chicken too early on. Eat a little later, eat a little later on. But that's my goal. As far as trying to change the world with music, I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but nah, man, I'm just trying to be stable, be able to live comfortable, and I ain't trying to be no super, and I ain't trying to get in. I just want to, live like I play. That's all.
Well, but you know what? Hey, I'm looking when that next CD comes out. I'm gonna be rooting for you for that to be nominated for another Grammy, and you can win that Grammy. We're gonna
Oh,
root
I
for you on that
appreciate
one.
it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I, John Tavis, I want to. Can you tell us how can the people follow you on social media or what?
Oh yeah,
Let us know. Give us your website and stuff so we can have
I
that.
got you.
All right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm everywhere on as Jontavious Willis. That's Jontavious Willis. Willis. One more time. Jontavious Willis. Willis. Jontavious Willis on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. Don't really be on Twitter too much, but not at all actually. So definitely on Instagram, Facebook, I be on that pretty regular. But Facebook, Instagram, and really everything, just John Tavius.
All right. Well, John Tavis, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk some blues with me and talk about
Oh,
your
no problem.
yeah, talk about what you've been doing, and I appreciate that. We greatly appreciate it, and I hope the next time that you come up here to Chicago, I can make sure to meet you while you're up here and talk with you at some point. So it has really been a pleasure talking with you this evening.
Oh man, it's been a pleasure talking to you as well, man. And I sure let you know about that Chicago when I get back up there. Well, last time out there, it was pretty cold,
Yo,
man. I'm in Dallas right now. It ain't that cold.
yeah, and I want to let me. And you also are doing some work with Bobby Rush too, haven't you?
Yeah, we did a few. Me and Mr. Bobby did a few things. We got some other stuff coming up in the future as well. But we did a thing last year that at the better. I can't think of the name of it right now. In October at the Logan Center. Yeah, I think it was Logan, yeah. And then we did a thing here about 2 weeks ago. We did one and we did 2 nights in Minneapolis. We did 2 nights in Seattle. And like I said, later on in the year, we're going to do another thing. That was great to be around another elder, learn some more wisdom, and, pick up some good jokes.
Hey, look, Bobby got all the jokes.
Yeah.
You already know that.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
That is
that's been
good.
fun. That's been real fun. Yeah, it's been real fun. Yeah, man.
Good, good. Well, John Tavis, I want to thank you again for talking with me this evening, and I greatly appreciate you spending some time with us over here on Buddy Guy Radio and talking about what you've been up to, and we appreciate just. I say keep us posted. Let me know what you got coming up, and we definitely want all the listeners to know too. But thank you so much.
Oh, no problem at all. Thank you, man, and you have a good day.
All right, you too, John Tavius. Talk to you
All right.
later. That was Jontavious Willis, 25-year-old blues man down there in Greenville, Georgia, talking with us this evening and talking about what he's been up to, how he got into the blues, and I really appreciated hearing that, and I really enjoyed hearing how he got into music. I think that's just wonderful. So we appreciate Jontavious for taking the time to talk with us this evening. We really do.